My wife and I play gigs all the time, and I get lots of people come up to me and ask me questions about the guitar and how they should get started on the guitar, and it got me to thinking about what I would do differently if I was starting over and I had the benefit of hindsight to do it with. Whenever I first started, I learned everything in minor keys because I was playing rock and metal. So I learned everything, like whenever I first got past the basics of just learning your open chords, which is where you should start, then my only thing I knew was, so I knew how to solo over anything that was in a minor key because I knew that one pattern. So I was so very limited because that was where my knowledge was. So if I was starting all over again, I would start by learning major first. And the reason why is going to become clear to you over the next several videos that I'm going to post. So this one is just going to be what you need to know to get started. We're going to get into the cage system, then we're going to get strictly into the major key and what all is inside of it and how everything else kind of falls from that. We'll cover the major, all your major scale, and how to do it in any key, and how that breaks down into modes, and how to spell different chords by knowing your major scale. So we'll get into all that stuff, and we're going to show you how it all relates to a major key. So the first thing you would need to know is the names of all your strings, E, A, D, G, B, and E. I'm not going to go into all that stuff too much because there's so much information out there about that. But learn that, learn how to count, well, not really count per se, but how to figure out what note is that you got E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, where the musical alphabet starts back over, whole step to B, half step to C, whole step to D, whole step back to E, and then learn what the sharps and flats are. So once you can do that on all of your strings, then, and make sure you're always doing your exercises too while you're learning all this stuff, because you want to get your fingers to where they'll work for you. Then you're going to learn all your open chords. Your A chord, a lot of people hold it like that. I hold it like that because I like to have my extra fingers to do other stuff. I recommend you learn how to do it like that too, because it just gives you so much more freedom. And plus that's a bar. We're going to get into the bar chords. That's going to help you learn your cage system, and that will help you with understanding your major keys even better. So learn your A minor, then learn how to move that A from that second fret there where you're barring those to there, so you might whatever you use that finger, and then you're going to hold that down there at the second fret. Now that's a B chord, that's a bar chord. We've just taken that A chord, moved it up one step, now it's a B chord, and if you use that same shape that you used here, now it's B minor. So then you play your C chord, and there's not really a good open position C minor, so that same B chord that we had here, we're going to move it a half step up. There's a C chord. We're going to play that same minor shape. There's your C minor. Then you're going to go to D, and your D minor, your E, and your E minor. And here's another one of the bar chords that we're going to show you. So if you take that E shape, now hold it with these three fingers instead. Now scoot it up one fret, half a step. Now bar all the way across there with this finger. You're just moving that nut up one fret. Now you got an E shape, but that's now an F chord. And you can raise that one finger up, your bird finger, and now you've got an F minor. And you know, you play the F like that. It's the same thing, it's just the bottom 4 notes of that chord is all it is. Same thing, make that minor. You can come up here, do the same thing, because G is kind of like C. It's not a very comfortable way to make that a minor. You can, but you're never going to do that, so learn that G minor. So if you've just taken that E shape, and learn those, and call those chords out to yourself while you're playing them, okay? F, G, because you want it to always just be there. You don't want to have to think about what chord that is. Also learn that G this way too, or however you want to finger it like that. Again, I hold this one like this because I like to do that behind that G chord sometimes. So, once you've learned those 7 chords and their minors, then you're pretty much getting ready to go. So, before we get going into anything, get to where you can strum those chords. You want to get to where you can, if any of them are sounding like they're being muffled, then you know you need to keep working on it. Get it where it's every note rings clean like that. So then, once you start getting that, then start doing different strum patterns with them, like just maybe, and call out the chord while you're playing it. C, C, F, and just go through all the chords. Don't worry about making a tune yet. You want to just get to where you can get through these chords, and the tunes will start coming. Once you start hearing those chords in the way that they're supposed to sound, then you're going to be going, oh, okay, I can hear a tune in that. So get to where you can play those chords, and then we're going to go to the next portion after that. Thank you.